Hello, students. So I'm sure all of you have heard the term magnets, right? All of you love magnets and all, right? Whenever you visit the supermarkets or malls and all, you can see a box full of toys and how a magnet is used to pick those toys from the bottom. And you would also have played with magnets, right? Kept keeping one magnet on the table and another magnet under the table, and how you used to try to move those magnets, right? It's very fun to play with magnets. I'm sure all of you love magnets also. So, in today's class, in Unit 1, Magnetism, we'll be looking all about magnets. So, in your previous classes, you would have studied about what is magnetism, definition for magnetism, and also the different types or the different shapes of magnets and all, right? Can you all take a look at the screen now and identify what are the different shapes of magnets that you can see on the screen? There are four different magnets, right? What are they? Yes, you can see a bar magnet over there on the top left corner. Beautiful bar magnet. Because it's in the shape of a bar, it's called a bar magnet. On the right side, you can see a ring shaped magnet. That is a ring magnet. And you have an oval shaped magnet because it's in the shape of oval. And then you have horseshoe shaped magnets also. So apart from these four, there are different other types of magnets also, which you studied in your previous class. And you also studied about magnetic and non-magnetic substances. That is, what are magnetic substances? Substances which get attracted to magnets are called magnetic substances. You can see examples as iron, cobalt, and all. And non-magnetic substances are just the opposite of magnetic substances. Non-magnetic substances are those which do not get attracted to magnets. Example is plastic. So you also studied about magnetic poles and all. In today's class, we'll be looking at the properties of magnets. So when you talk about properties of magnets, there are two important properties that you should remember. So this is something which is very important, and when next time when you think about magnets, you should think about these two properties. You have attraction and repulsion. So what are the two different properties of magnets? Attraction and repulsion. So both of these we'll be looking in detail now. Can you all take a look at this picture? What is happening in the first picture? You can see a boy standing over there, right? You can see what is he covered with? His body is covered with magnets. And what is the shape of that magnet? It's a horseshoe shaped magnet. So you have all the small and large horseshoe shaped magnets all over his body, right? And what do you think is happening around him? Yes, all these substances are getting attracted to magnets all over his body. And do all substances get attracted to magnets? No. Only magnetic substances like your iron, cobalt, etc. are getting attracted. You can see how the spoons and all are getting attracted, right? Yes. The next picture you can see two magnets. What is the shape? It's a horseshoe shaped magnet again. So the one magnet is saying to the other, you are so attractive. Yes. So, what is the property that we are seeing here? It's the property of attraction. Yes. So, we all studied about magnetic poles, right? So, it's a bar magnet and it has the south pole and a north pole. So, if a magnet is there, it will have two ends. Not. So, these two ends are the poles of the magnet. You have the south pole marked in blue and the north pole marked in red. Let's do something. Suppose imagine you're having a bar magnet in one hand and you're having iron filings in another hand. And what are iron filings? They are just small tiny particles of iron. Okay? So we're having iron filings in one hand. And I'm bringing this bar magnet slowly towards these iron filings. What do you think will happen? All these iron filings you can see in the picture how they are getting attracted to the two ends of the magnet. And what are the two ends? They are the poles of the magnet. So here you can see how the south pole is attracting all these magnetic iron filings, and the north pole is also attracting those iron filings. So you can see all these beautiful lines forming all over these magnets, right? Yes. So, when you talk about properties, you should know these 2 points. You should never forget. These are very, very important. So, what are they? The first point is unlike poles of magnets attract each other. So, what is it? What do you mean by unlike poles? Unlike poles are nothing but opposite poles. So, opposite poles of magnets will always attract each other. So as you can see in the picture, there are two bar magnets, right? So as I said earlier, a magnet will have both south pole and north pole. So you can see south pole marked in blue and north pole marked in red. So same way, both these magnets have magnetic poles. But when you bring unlike poles nearby, that is when you bring north pole of one magnet and the south pole of another magnet nearby, will they get attracted? Yes, they will get attracted and they'll move more close to each other. So, what does it mean? Unlike poles of magnets attract each other. Okay, so that is the first property. Next one, like poles of magnets repel each other. What do you mean by repel each other? They will move away from each other. So, what is it? They will move away from each other. Yes. So, North Pole and North Pole of these two magnets are getting attracted to each other, right? What do you think will happen? Will they get attracted? No, they will not get attracted. They will move away or repel from each other. Yes. Same way, if a South Pole and South Pole of two magnets are brought near each other, will they get attracted? No, they will not get attracted. They will move away or repel from each other. So, in the previous slide, you saw how unlike poles attract each other, and here you saw how like poles of magnets repel each other. So, as a summary, opposite poles will attract and same poles will repel. So, I'm sure all of you understood the two properties of attraction and repulsion of magnets. So let's move on to the uses of magnets. In our everyday life, all of us are using magnets knowingly or unknowingly. Can you all name few items that has magnets present in them? Let's look at it now. So can you all identify what instrument this is? Yes, it's a compass. So what do we use compass for? What is the purpose? To know directions, right? Yes. So a compass has north, south, east, and west direction in it. And how do you think is this your compass helping us to find directions? It is because of magnets only. These compasses they have magnets present in them, which will help us to move these lines and show us the directions. Next one, very interesting, right? Stickers on refrigerators. I'm sure how many of you have these stickers on your refrigerators at home? Yes. So these are just stickers or they're called as fridge magnets. So these stickers, they have, when you look at the back of these stickers, you can see that there is a magnet on it. So when you go and stick it on your refrigerators, it will get attracted. Yes. So that's why they are called fridge magnets. Next one is magnet in toys. So nowadays there are so many toys which has magnets in them. Children also love playing with these toys. The next is a pencil box. So you can see this. How many of you have this pencil box or how many of you have seen this pencil box? So when you open and close the lid of this pencil box, you can see there's a magnet over there, which is because of this magnet only the pencil box is closed. If you remove the magnet, the pencil box will not close properly. The next is a earphone. It is a Bluetooth speaker that you see here. So when you after using, when you remove the earphones or the speakers, when you keep those speakers nearby, you can see that they are getting attracted to each other, right? That's because these Bluetooth speakers, they have magnets in them, which will help us to store these earphones properly. The next one, I'm sure all of you have seen this in your bags, right? So magnets are there in your bags, your purse, your wallets and all, which will help us to close and open our bags properly. If this magnet is removed, the bags will not be closed properly. Yes. So nowadays there are so many doors which has locks like this. That is the magnets as locks in their doors. The next is magnetic grains. How many of you have heard about these magnetic grains? Yes. So there are so many waste substances dumped, right? It's very difficult for people to segregate all the magnetic, non-magnetic substances and all. So this magnetic grain, what will it do? They'll keep this magnetic grain near the garbage or the dump, and what will happen? All the magnetic substances, they are getting attracted to the magnetic grain because it has a magnet in. So what will happen? All the iron substances will get attracted, and this way we can segregate all the waste properly. So that is magnetic grain. And magnets are also seen in hard drives and all. And on the right side, you can see what is it? It's a computer. So magnets are present in computers also. So when you go and try this in your computers, take a magnet and go near the monitor, you can see that lines are formed like how you see in the picture. That's because computers have magnets present in them. So we have come to the end of the class. So in today's class, we studied about the properties of magnets. We saw about attraction and repulsion. We saw that unlike poles will attract each other, and like poles will repel each other. And later we studied about the uses of magnets. We saw some equipments or instruments which we use in our daily life, which has magnets present in them. So that's all for today, students. Thank you.